Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson just met with the president, but remains opposed to the bill. And he joins us now. All right. I rarely disagree with you on anything, Senator Johnson. You and I are compadres on so many things, all the way back to the vaccine stuff. So tell me, what is holding you up on this, even despite talking to the president?
Well, good morning, everybody. Well, let's just little history lesson, use little numbers in a budget process. In the 7 years prior to COVID, average deficits were $660 billion. And we had the spending blowout in COVID, deficit of $3.1 trillion. And then any sane, responsible president and Congress would have, after the economy healed and unemployment was back to normal levels, we would have come back to those pre-pandemic spending and deficit levels. That's not what President Biden and the Democrats did. On average, for 4 years, they averaged $1.9 trillion in deficit, so almost 3 times the $660 billion pre-COVID deficit. The problem we have right now is we're pretty well locked into that spending. We went from $4.4 trillion in spending to over 7 this year, about 7.3 trillion next year. And the CBO baseline would show about $2.1 trillion deficits as far as the eye can see. The score from CBO on the One Big Beautiful would put that at $2.4 trillion. So, my bottom line is, and you know this, both your husband and I ran as Tea Party candidates.
Yeah.
We were $14 trillion in debt back then. Now we're $37 trillion in debt. And Rachel, I just can't accept this is the new normal. So President Trump, his goal in the Senate was to make the Big Beautiful bill even better. I'd like it much better. Right now, I'm not going to vote for a motion to proceed today. We just got the bill. I got my first copy about 1:23 in the morning this morning, about 300 provisions by my count. We have scores, just temporary scores, preliminary scores on less than half of that. We don't even have the scores. The last thing I want Republicans doing, I'm not accusing anybody doing this right now. Right. The last thing is we shouldn't take the Nancy Pelosi approach and pass this bill to find out what's in it. We need to know exactly what's in it. By the way, we need to have a debate. 5 of my colleagues wrote to our conference and said, let's, once we get the bill, once we have the scores, let's have a meeting or meetings where we go through provision by provision, score by score, and determine what we ought to leave in. Again, do we really need that additional tax credit when we're $37 trillion in debt? Let's have that discussion. We've had some discussions on some of the elements, but 390 provisions, 300 provisions, no. So again, we need to be thoughtful. This is a big bill. This is an important bill. There's no need to rush it. So, and you've just spoken to President Trump. What is the realistic option? What is the realistic timeline for how you see this going where you can get to a yes? Well, first of all, I have no problem with people putting deadlines. We're all humans. We all procrastinate. So this is really focusing our efforts. Leadership, committee chairs, Chairman Crapo, his staff, they are working overtime. I don't think they're even sleeping. So again, it's concentrating our efforts. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And so we're going to work hard. We're here in D.C. We'll stay in D.C. until, we get a result on this thing one way or the other. So again, we're all dedicated to it. We all share the same goal. The problem is, guys, we're cleaning up the messes of Biden the Democrats, the open border, the wars, a $1.9 trillion average deficit. This is not easy. It is hard.
Got to get it done either way. You don't want taxes to go up for millions of Americans, so the hard work continues. From the great Badger State of Wisconsin, Senator Johnson, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate you.
Great to see you.
Have a great morning.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Senator.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.